Ek klim vir 'n treinrit wat my glo my lewe gaan weerspieël. Klomp stasies op my pad. Sommige mooier as ander, maar elk uniek. En dan die moerkoffie, die lewe se vernis, rond, vol, geurig en vol smaak, ryk en lekker. Drink hom slukkie vir slukkie, geniet hom. Laat hy oor die tong rol, want by jou stasie is die rit verby. Die rit weet te flits van die geheue.
Yes, my ou vriend, hoe lyk dinge daar by jou? Jong, ek sê vir jou, sê, lekker week gewees. Absolute, fantastiese week gewees, so ver, vandag Vrydag, te lekker man, dit is so lekker om vir jou hier op die kanaal te hê, en so aan, ek sal altyd so 'n bietjie nuus deel, in die aanloop na die Moerkoffie Express, die elke Saterdagoggend net hier op Radio Suid-Afrika, skakel in van 8 tot 10 die Moerkoffie Express op www.radiosuidafrika of Radio South Africa.co.za. Hierdie week was al vir my 2 groot goed wat gebeur het. Die eerste ene is hierdie ene wat gebeur het. En dit het vir ons gewys dat dit is nie net die verkeer in Pretoria wat kan baie besig en verneig geraak nie. Dit is ook die hof kan skielik baie besig raak, en dit spesifiek as 12 SAPS-lede op een slag in hegtenis geneem word. Nou mag jy wonder, waarvoor neem hulle nou hierdie klomp mense in hegtenis? As jy die Mhlanga Kommissie en ook die parlementêre komitee gevolg het oor die afgelope paar maande, is seker al 6-7 maande aan die gang, dan is dit 'n kwessie van dan sê jy weet waaroor dit gaan. Maar iets wat my opgeval het, maar ou moet ek nou nie die ding vooruit hardloop nie, te gretig raak nie, want dan val die pap nou weer op die grond, is dat as jy die Mhlanga Kommissie dopgehou het, met 'n houtoog, en jy het hom dopgehou, dan gaan jy sien, daar is baie min van die name wat genoem is gedurende hierdie ondersoek, spesifiek die Mhlanga Kommissie. Mense wat getuig het en ondervra het, en ouens soos die belangrikste sergeant in SAPS, Sergeant Kosi, en ook daai vrou wat die BBL gehad het, geld gekry het by Cat McLaren vir Ozempic, lekker ou jabster daar so. En daar is dan natuurlik 'n vrou wat geclaim het, ja, she's modeling the badge, sy het vir haar eie BBL betaal, okay, en so aan. So, hierdie klomp mense is gearresteer, en soos jy in die agtergrond kan sien, het was bedrywig daar by die Pretoria Hof.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to just need to make some order. Council, just hold on your affidavits.
Maar nou het hulle ook, my gunsteling, commissaris van polisie, Fanny Masemola, hulle het nou vir hom ook blykbaar sy papiere gegee, hy moet in die hof kom getuig, hy word aangekla. Ek weet nie of Fanny op hierdie stadium in Bengals is of waar hy is nie, maar ja, Fanny moet gaan getuig.
The NPA says National Police Commissioner Fanny Masemola has been served with a summons to appear in court. This is in relation to a Medicare 24 Tshwane district tender. This is what the NPA's Kaiser Kganyago had to say earlier.
All we can say is just to confirm that he was served with summons to appear today, and then he will then appear somewhere, I think it was the 21st of April, in court. Therefore, that's all we can say, because we can't talk about the contents of the summons.
En daar het jy dit. Fanny Masemola, ons commissaris van polisie, nes destyds met ou Jackie Selebi, hy staan nou in die hof, hy moet nou verduidelik oor daai tender, 360 miljoen rand tender, wat aan Cat McLaren's company, ek weet nie, Medicare of something vir die polisie gegee is. Hulle sê Fanny weet meer as wat hy wil voorgee. Nou ons sal nou maar sien, hulle sê mos altyd, jy gaan jou dag in die hof kry, en baie keer hier in Suid-Afrika vat dit jare om 'n dag in die hof te kry, En so ons laat dit oor aan die bekwame hande van die justisie, die systeem, die judicial system in die land om te besluit. Is die man skuldig of is hy nie skuldig nie? Maar nou ja, ons weet in die polisie, dis soos 'n appel wat van binnekant af vrot. Hulle sê altyd 'n vis vrot van sy kop af. 'n Appel vrot gewoonlik baie mals, die van die pitte af, die kor, daai kankeragtigheid wat na buitekant toe trek. Amper soos 'n pitseer met 'n pleister op. Maar nou ja, daar het nog iets eienaardig gebeur gister daar by die Pretoria se hof. Ons weet mos almal van Marius van der Merwe, die sogenaamde Witness D, gedurende die Maslanga kommissie. Hy was afgemaai in 'n koel reën, een aand nadat hy en sy vrou en sy kinders teruggekom het vanaf 'n restaurant of iewers waar hulle geëet het. Is hy voor sy vrou en sy kinders, hulle het nou iemand in hegtenis geneem, blykbaar, maar dit sê die ou se ex-sapslid, na bewering. Maar almal het gesê, dit is al net eienaardig, dat hierdie ou so akkuraat kon skiet. Nou ek weet, jy my ou vriend, is 'n ou wat baie jag, en jy skiet na allerhande goeders, jy oefen baie en so meer, maar jy moet geoefen wees om met 'n bewegende voertuigheid so absoluut akkuraat te kan skiet. Nou hulle sê hulle beweer, hierdie is 'n ex-polisieman, wat nie meer in die polisie is nie, en hy hou sy lyf deesdae executioner, assassin. Nou ek neem aan, hierdie is die ou, wat gister in die hof opgestaan het en gesê het, hy ken nie eens sy regsverteenwoordiging nie, maar hy wil praat, hy wil nou praat, hy wil nie hierdie goed moet langer uitgestel word nie.
Permission to speak, Your Worship.
You cannot speak directly to the court, Mr. President.
I want to assist the court, Your Worship, in the interest of justice, and the allegations that were leveled against me, I deny them fully. I have nothing to do with this crime. I wish to state under oath. I want to state in English, Your Worship.
Represented to just with the figure representative in
Because, Your Worship, I wish to assist the court, Your Worship. Because the lawyer here is the first time I see him today. He's not been given instruction by me. He did not even take my statement, Your Worship. I'm arrested here for something I did not commit. And the instructions are coming left, right, and center, Your Worship. I'm being decided upon. I have not done anything here. I'm on social media. I'm everywhere. My name is painted. So, Your Worship, for postponing this case, it's delaying the matter. And I wish to assist the court. I'm ready with my statement. I'm ready to say what had happened. This guy is in today.
Mr. Sotini, we can give that instructions to the representative. If you are not satisfied with the date that has been agreed, they can bring then the application for requisition before the date. In this case, the date still stands, we can stand out.
He claimed that he's been arrested for a crime he did not commit.
Indeed, you must understand that the state does not enroll any cases unless there's a prima facie evidence against the accused. And in this case, the accused has a case to answer to in court, hence he appeared in court today.
Verstaan jy nou? Hierdie man sê hy is reg om nou te praat. Nou ek sê, vat hom onmiddellik in ondervraging in en kry 'n ordentlike affidavit van hom. En dan vat jy hom weer hof toe. Hy sê, hy het niks met die crime te doen. Nou dit laat my dink aan 'n ou grappie in die dae van die regime. Toe was al 'n grappie gewees, dit was destyds toe PW Botha nog minister van verdediging was. En ek dink amper, ek praat in 'n korreksie, ek dink dit was Louis Legrandsie. May soul rest in peace, both of them. Waar hulle blykbaar 'n weddenskap gevat het. En die weddenskap het so iets gegaan. Want oom Louis sou blykbaar of oom Pieter Willem gesê het, dat die weermag is nie so goed soos die polisie nie, as dit kom by logistieke goed en om op sekere tye, jy weet, sekere resultate te bewerkstellig nie. En toe sê PW vir hom, nee, okay, dit is baie goed so, waaroor wet ons, wat gaan ons doen? Toe sê Louis Legrandsie vir hom, dis nou 8:00 in die oggend, ons is al twee hier by die Uniegebouwe. Ek gaan nou vir my topstruktuur instruksie gee, dat hulle moet voor 5:00 vanmiddag 'n groot Afrika krokodil aflewer hierso by die Uniegebouwe. En jy gaan vir jou topstruktuur dieselfde sê, voor vanmiddag 5:00 moet hulle absoluut te doen. En hulle is toe uit mekaar uit, PW se haar na sy kantoor toe, en Louis na sy kantoor toe, en hulle kry hulle topmanne op die lyn. PW sê vir 'n topgeneraal van hom, sy naam is nie bekend nie, dien jy wonder, sê vir hom, luister die, vanmiddag 5:00 soek ek 'n groot krokodil, want ek staan bekend as die groot krokodil. So ek soek 'n groot krokodil hierso, op die trappe hier voor die Uniegebouwe. En jong Louis doen presies dieselfde. En die middag so hier 4:15 se kant toe gaan staan, hulle lekker daar so voor op die trappe, en hulle wag. En die volgende oomblik, hier kom een van die Super Freelon helikopters, kom so, maak so 'n draai, en laat sak, met toue en 'n net, laat sak hulle hierdie massive, groot krokodil. En PW gaan so, met die vinger, jy sien, ek jou gesê, volgende oomblik, kyk om Louis so, en hy sien, hier kom 'n polisie-van op gery. Stop al onder by die trappe, en hulle haal daar ding uit, wat vreeslik spartel in 'n sak. En draam die trappe op, maak hom oop. Hier sit 'n movie se groot, likkewaan. En op PW lag so lekker, hy sê vir Louis, daar is nie 'n krokodil nie. Louis sê, ek kan sien as hy 'n krokodil nie. En hy vra vir die se sand, en sy mede-gesand. En hy vra vir hulle, luister die man, hierdie is nie 'n krokodil nie, dis 'n donderse likkewaan. Waar kom die ding vandaan af? Hulle sê, nee, oom Louis, minister, ons het opdrag gekry, hier by die poliestasie in Pretoria, al Waterkloof, ons moet 'n krokodil aflewer. Toe vra ons almal, waar gaan ons 'n krokodil kry in hierdie omgewing? Toe sê hulle, nee man, ry sommer daar by die Apies rivier, maak 'n draai daar. En dan kry jy enige iets, wat naaste by lyk soos 'n krokodil. En dan bliksem jy hom dik, totdat hy erken hy's 'n krokodil. En ons het dit gedoen met hierdie likkewaan. En hy het uiteindelik gesê, ek is 'n krokodil. Nou ja, daai enetjie, spesiaal vir jou, van die Moerkoffie Express. Maar die ding is, dit kan wees, dat hierdie ou ook dalk hartgemoer is, om te sê, ek is die krokodil. Maar ons sal nie weet nie. Dit sal weer eens uitkom in die hof. Ons laat dit oor in die bekwame hande van die hof. Dan het my manne daar, van my kerkse mense daar by AfriForum, het gister ook 'n perskonferensie gehou, amper in die trant van Makonasi se perskonferensie verlede jaar, in Julie, toe hy daai bomsel gedrop het. En Gerry Nel, wie kan nog vir Gerry onthou? Gerry natuurlik van die jare waar hy sy bekendheid verwerf het, eintlik was nie omdat hy gearresteer was voor dit teen die destydse Scorpions of wie ook al nie. Hy het bekendheid verwerf, ek dink grotendeels, dis al my mening, toe hy vir die staat gestaan het in die Oscar Pistorius saak. Maar Gerry Nel is deesdae by AfriForum en Gerry het gister die perskonferensie so ingelei, so half tongue in cheek.
You know, it seems that in the criminal justice system, you achieve nothing if you don't have a press conference, and specifically if you're surrounded by armed policemen in battle fatigue. We don't have armed policemen in battle fatigue, but we're also complaining about the inefficiency of the criminal justice system. Now, we're here today because of normal human behavior. You know, it's just natural for any person to avoid a difficult decision. It's just natural for any individual to avoid those tasks you don't want to do, but you have to do it because you were told to do it. It's just natural to ignore those tasks that you cannot do and that you refuse to do, or we're here just because of plain incompetence by people that have to take decisions. Perhaps most importantly, we of the view that the NPA act in the way they do just because they hope we will go away, that we'll just go away. You know, in South Africa, and you all know it better than I do, there are new allegations every day. Every day there's something new, then we have to deal with something new. You know, we're dealing with the Madlanga Commission at the moment. We've forgotten about the Zondo Commission. We've forgotten about allegations about current ministers in the cabinet, about corruption allegations against current ministers. So there's always something new, and what happens is that people go away. But we're not going away, not as far as this matter is concerned.
Maar waaroor die ding eintlik gaan, die saak waaroor hy praat, is Fikile Mbalula, die regneem ons altyd sy pad, vat partykeer net baie lank. Fikile Mbalula was destyds op 'n baie duur vakansie, Dubai toe, te lekker man, en so. En dit is opgetel deur die pers, en toe het die geldjie so vinnig terugbetaal. Weet jy of dit alles is nie? Maar hy het geldjies terugbetaal om die idee te gee dat dit was eintlik net 'n lening. En dis wat Gerry hulle op hierdie stadium AfriForum nog steeds mee sukkel. AfriForum dryf 'n saak teen hom, op die oomblik 'n kriminele saak, teen Fikile Mbalula, oor dat hy hierdie geld ontvang het van 'n donateur wat hy toe gesê het 'n lening is.
I'll deal with it later, but we wrote a letter to Advocate Matibi earlier this week, complaining about what's happening in the NPA, indicating that they've taken irrational decisions, indicating that the decisions is just to protect politicians against prosecution. He now in turn referred it back to the person that took the decision in the first instance, the person that we think acted irrationally. He referred it back to him. We really hope that Mr. Matibi will get involved and deal with our letter. You know, what we're dealing with today, and the Mbalula investigation, as far as the Dubai holiday is concerned, is a perfect storm. Now, just to make sure, and I'll deal with all the facts now, just to make sure that nobody thinks that we're dealing with a knee-jerk reaction, that we now decided that it's time to deal with this matter, and it's time to deal with this matter decisively. I have to just tell you that our first letter to the NPA about this matter was on 10th of March 2022. We received no cooperation from the NPA. We went so far as to complain about the inefficiency of the Hawks and the NPA in this investigation of this matter to the President. We wrote a letter to the presidency in June 2022. We wrote lots of letters in this matter. So it's not something that we decided that we want to deal with this week, that we want to deal with now. We've been dealing with this matter over a very long period of time. Now let me just give you the history of what we're dealing with. Now, we all know we're dealing with a holiday that Mr. Mbalula took to Dubai. We know it, it's not a secret, it was admitted. This holiday was between 28 December 2016 and 3 January 2017. He was then Minister of Sport. We all know, and it's also contained in the case docket, that the cost of that holiday was 684,000 rand, thereabouts. We all know that no payment was made, and that the travel agency then demanded payment in February 2017. It's in the case docket that in February 2017, Sedgars, through a company linked to Sedgars, made the 300,000 rand payment by means of EFT to the travel agent. We also know that there were cash deposits of 300,000 rand more. Cash happened. That happened in February 2017 and months and days following that. What we also know is that on 9th October 2017, Eyewitness News published a report about Mr. Fikele's holiday, and say in the report they said that Sedgars paid for his holiday. The strangest things happened. On that same day that Eyewitness News made the report, Mr. Mbalula started paying back. He paid back Sedgars through the company that they used on the same day. So that's in October, after the holiday that ended in January and after the money received in February. So he decided to pay that back. On that same day, AfriForum, through Monique Tauter, referred the matter to the Public Protector. So the Public Protector dealt with the matter, and at the hearing at the Public Protector, on behalf of Mr. Mbalula, through his lawyers, they indicated that the money received was a loan. It was a loan, and that he paid it back. On 19 December 2019, the Public Protector made a finding. The Public Protector made a finding, and she referred the matter back to the NPA to investigate money laundering. Now, obviously, that never happened. The NPA took absolutely no further steps, and that caused the same Monique Tauter to register a case docket in August 2019. Now, a timeline in this matter is really important. Of the Zondo Commission's recommendations that were not dealt with. So on the 11th of March, something else happened. On the 11th of March, in the Madlanga Commission, the following happened. In the Madlanga Commission, Mr. Shabiri, Major General Shabiri, gave evidence. He gave evidence about a 70,000 rand loan he received from Mr. Matlala. He received the loan because he wanted to service his child's car. Now, what's important is the word loan. Now, he's taken on by saying, but how can this be a loan? Isn't it sheltered as a loan? And everything that was said in the Madlanga Commission, in the interaction between the Judge Madlanga and the witness, is a mirror image of what we're dealing with here.
Nou, jy kan nie meer as anders, my ou vriend, saamstem met hierdie man, wat eens na verwys is as Gerry Nel, the bulldog. Hulle sê as hy gebyt het, los hy nie. En dit is like my nog steeds sy motto. Ewenal is hy nou by AfriForum. En dankie dat jy vir my een aand, lang gelede het jy vir my in Vredenburg een aand gesê. Het was binne in die Spur in Vredenburg. Toe vra jy vir my so 'n paar vrae, want jy is mos 'n redelike bedonderde ou. Toe sit ons al saam met twee ander ouens wat so klaar, en dit was voor COVID, ek dink dit was in 2019-2020, so 6-7 jaar terug. Toe vra jy vir my en hierdie ouens, ek wil gou julle iets vra. Behoort julle enigstens aan AfriForum of Solidariteit? Sê ons, nee, ons doen nie. Toe sê jy wel, ek gaan nie eens vir julle die ander twee vra nie. Solank as julle nie aan hierdie organisasies behoort en hulle ondersteun nie, moenie kla as jy dwarsklappe kry van hierdie regering af. En dit sluit korrupsie en allerhande goede nie. So dankie dat jy daai vir my gesê het, Johan. Maar Gerry hierso is absoluut, hy's op die bal. Jy kan dit nie as iets anders beskryf nie. Luister net wat sê hy verder.
In the Mdlanga Commission, they put it to Mr. Shibiri, you only paid back once the police raided your place. Then you decided, let us pay this back. We say the first payment in this particular matter was after the news broke on Eyewitness News. That should be investigated. So our whole approach is, we're approaching the MPA, we're saying to the MPA that your decision not to prosecute, because we now have the case docket, is irrational and it's not in terms of the law. It's a deliberate misunderstanding of the definition of corruption.
En ja, as jy gedink het, dit is die enigste saak waarmee AfriForum hom besig. Hulle is nog besig met sake ook onder andere. Teen Fikile, wat 'n paar gevaarlike goed gesê het tydens, ek weet nie, 'n perskonferensie nie. Hy praat mos sommer uit volle bors uit enige plek. Jy moet hom net vra.
I just want to also then elaborate on what Mr. Van Zyl said, and that is, we've also now this week received the case docket on the criminal injuria matter. Mr. Jaco Pieterse opened a criminal injuria matter against Mr. Mbalula for things that he said about him in a public address. We've now received the case docket back. Now, firstly, we received the case docket back, and unsurprisingly, there was absolutely no investigation done on that case docket. Our statement is in the case docket, and the next moment, the case docket landed up with the prosecutor who decided not to prosecute. There was absolutely, that's all. We received the case docket, and that's all that in the case docket. So that brings us to a nolle prosecute about criminal injuria to case number 2. The first case was Mr. I've forgotten his name, Gade. Mr. Gade in the Eastern Cape, who made allegations against Mr. Pieterse. There was a nolle there. We're in possession of the case docket. We're considering private prosecution. Now we have Mr. Mbalula's case docket. We consider private prosecution. There's one other outstanding, and that's the case docket against Mr. Malema. We are waiting the NPA to finalize their investigation. I just want to indicate, to elaborate on what Mr. Van Zyl said. Mr. Mbalula, in a public speech, said the following about Mr. Jaco Pieterse. He said, and I'm
ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says if a person's accused of rape, they must not be entitled to bail. This comes after Cwecwe, a 7-year-old child from Matatiele in the Eastern Cape, was sexually assaulted on school premises last October while waiting for her transport. He says children are no longer safe, so the law must be harsh on these perpetrators. He says a person who does this kind of act is an animal, not a human being.
The Constitution and the laws of the country have been strengthened. Now, if you get arrested and you are accused of rape, you are not entitled to bail. I think that's what is important. Whether we can do something even more beyond that, I think it is possible to do that.
It is moral indictment of our society that predators still find a refuge in institutions meant to safeguard children, meaning the school.
Where will women and our kids be safe? When they go to the crèche, your child can be raped. When they go to school, they are exposed and all of that. So these animals, the law must grind. So we fully agree with that. And it's important that we need to deal with them harshly in terms of the law.
Even more disgraceful is the involvement of organizations like AfriForum, who shield suspects rather than standing for justice. He continued by saying, you see, when a person is sick, a rape is 7 years old. It's not a question of consciousness that you need to convert this person. It's an animal. There's nothing you can do about that. It's not a person who can rape a 7-year-old.
You see, when a person is sick, rape a 7-year-old, It's not a question of consciousness that you need to convert this person. He's an animal.
That's not a human being. That is why we say AfriForum goes and defends such people. Animals, you know, raping 7 years old, I mean, that is even beyond animals. I don't know. It's cannibalism.
And that's why we say AfriForum goes and defends such people. Animals, you know, raping 7-year-old. I mean, that is even beyond animals. I don't know. It's cannibalism.
I read Mr. Mbalula's threatening letter with pleasure, indicating that he has indicted himself on the allegations he made, that he warned us not to make today. So we will be pursuing both these matters. Thank you.
Jy sien, dis nou wat gebeur as jy 'n skoot oorklap iewers of iets hoor en jy begin hardloop in allerlei rigtings in. Want daar moet toch iemand, daar moet 'n skuldige wees. En dis wat gebeur het met meneer Jacob Pieterse, eens 'n vooraanstaande skoolhoof hier in die Oos-Kaap. Is al 'n meisie van 7 jaar oud verkrag en mense het gekom en gesê hy was die ou wat die daad gepleeg het. En toe spring die CIC en 'n paar manne onder andere soos Fikile Mbalula na bewering, almal op hulle high horse en begin beskuldig meneer Jacob Pieterse tot op die punt waar sy lewe is basies geruïneer. Mchunu, die ou wat nou al op verlof is vanaf verlede jaar af, ons minister van polisie, hy het eerstens gevra, ja, hy soek bietjie tyd om dit te ondersoek. En toe lyk het my, ondersoek hy dit so swak, dat hy aan die einde van die dag moes om verskoning gevra het, omdat hy ook vir meneer Jacob Pieterse vals beskuldig het. En dis die ding, dit is hoekom AfriForum, aangesien die staat dit nie gaan doen nie, die NPA gaan dit nie doen nie, jy het nou net gehoor, die leer, jy het net AfriForum se verklaring in. Dis hoe hulle goed ondersoek, en dan gooi hulle het vinnig net so, klaar ondersoek. Ek meen, hulle het verlede jaar by my plek ingebreek, ek het al die bewyse, ek het tot vir hulle gegee, die kar se besonderhede waarmee jy die ouens rondry, is 'n huurkar. Ek het vir hulle 2 van die mense se profiele gegee. Wat het hulle al mee gemaak? Binne 2 weke, nie eens 2 weke nie. Toe kry ek 'n SMS op my foon. Die saak is toegemaak weens die gebrek aan inligting. Nou as hulle dit met 'n ou gewone huispraaksaakie doen, hoe kan jy dit doen met sulke hoë profiel sake, waar daar sulke ernstige aanklagtes gebring word deur individue en jy ondersoek dit nie ordentlik nie? Jy gooi dit vir die state prosecutor of Hugo en hy gaan net so, nee wat, hierdie docket, ons gaan hom nie verder ondersoek nie.
Wanneer laas het jy trein gery? Ek is Will Jordan en luister na die Moer Koffie Express Saterdag omstreeks 8uur op Radio Suid-Afrika. As jy vroeg opstaan, skink 'n Moer koffie en klim op die trein met Alwyn Maton. Dis nostalgies, soms intellektueel, met 'n tikseltjie moer en pittige voer vir jou gedagtes.
Train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Come on now, peace train. Oh, peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Come on now, the peace train.
Saterdag 8uur, sien jou daar.
Op baie ontstellende noot, ek sien vir jou môreoggend op die Moerkoffie Express elke Saterdagoggend. Skink vir jou lekker koppie moerkoffie, sit agteroor, voedsel vir die siel en kom ry trein saam met ons. Bye bye.
Radio South Africa, your voice. 24/7.